Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Brentwood Rotary Club. We're glad to have you here today. It's May. How cool is that? This morning, we're going to have the invocation by Bert Bradford and the four-way test given by Linus Sugis.
Would you bow with me, please? Our Father God, we're so thankful for this Rotary Club you've given us. And Lord, let's not take it for granted that we all give our time and selves to the service of the club. Lord, are those in our club who are unable to be with us because of health reasons, and they've been mentioned many times. And Lord, we ask you to reach out, extend a healing hand. Lord, we thank you for this food you have given us. And we ask that we give our bodies to your service, for in Christ and we pray. Amen.
Please face the flag and join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now the four-way test of the things we think, say, or do. First,
is it true?
Second,
Is it very all concerning?
third,
Will do all the declarations?
fourth,
Will be beneficial to all concerned?
and fifth.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the May 6th meeting of the Brentwood Rotary Club. We do have one special guest that I'd like to introduce you to. It is actually a guest of our president, Betsy Crossley. But we have Stan Settles, who is a field representative with Senator Haggerty's office. Stan, is there anything that you would like to share with our club about you?
Yep. My name's Stan Settles. Really appreciate the invitation, Betsy. I cover Middle Tennessee for Senator Bill Haggerty. I was previously in his Chattanooga office and have recently moved back home to Middle Tennessee. So really appreciate y'all having me today.
Hope you come back.
And we're glad to have you. And Stan is also interested in becoming a member of our club, so please welcome him. That is all the guests or visiting Rotarians that we have today, I believe. So back to you.
All right. And I see Don is back for a visit, so good to see you back. Just hope you stay for a while, but yeah. Larry, do you have anything you want to say about the golf tournament? All right. I'll wait.
I didn't know I was going to get this. So from last week, I don't have a whole lot of exciting news for you. We sold 2 sponsorships. So my message of last week of let's get those 90 that are sitting out there hadn't hit with you just yet, but I know you're coming off Pancake Day and everybody's a little full. So now we got that out of the way. Let's work on those sponsorships. One thing I want to point out to you, some people I think have a little fear of our website, www.brentwoodrotarygolf.com, www.brentwoodrotarygolf.com. Just so you'll know what our sponsors think about that. We've had 50. It is .org. Thank you very much. That's why I can't ever get on there. I wasn't prepared for this. That's hard stuff for me, computer stuff. So anyway, that aside, we've had 53 of our sponsors sign up online. So somebody gave them the website and they got on there and they signed up, and 30 of those have paid online. So we're getting a real good response from our sponsors on using the website. Don't be afraid to give them that and ask them. People say, well, I've got to mail them an application or something. You can do that if you need to, but if you just give them the website and ask them to go on there, it's really easy to sign up. So let's work those sponsors that are outstanding, please. Thank you.
BrentwoodRotaryGolf.org. All right. The Pancake Day Committee is going to meet in the boardroom afterwards, right? Okay. The Franklin Noon Club, as you know, has a huge fundraiser with the rodeo. And this year they're doing something a little bit different. In the spirit of Rotary throughout this area, they have asked all Rotarians in the area to participate in their Rotary Rodeo Parade, which is Saturday, May 14th. You don't have to pay anything. You just have to come and enjoy being with that club and other Rotary clubs in the area. So I'm giving you a heads up if you're interested in that next week. It's going to be at noon on Saturday, the 14th. And so let me know if you're interested in that. You can actually, I have a website where you can go sign up to do the parade if you want to help them, just by being a part of Rotary around here. So good deal. June 10th, don't forget we have our community grants. The BRCCF voted on those today. And we have wonderful scholarships as well. Please make sure that you have sent your service hours to Drew. We're finishing up the year and we need to know money, service hours, and number of people that worked on the project so we can get a really good idea. And speaking of that, we already have had our district awards, and this year we have 2 district awards I want to tell you about. And in a minute, you're going to see how much fun we had at district. First of all, a special award to our club, the District 6760 Empowering Girls Award. And Steve, congratulations for helping us spearhead that, but this is our award for the club. Appreciate you. And there are 5 avenues of service. And this year, we were the club that won the Avenue of Service for community service, presented to the Rotary Club of Brentwood. This is out of every club in the district, 60+ clubs. So congratulations to us on that for everything that we do, from Harpeth cleanup to the playground. So congratulations. All right. I think we're good. Oh, Jane. Yes, sir. I don't know, 2 times in one meeting, but yeah, we'll see. And then Jane comes up.
Just to protect myself a little bit, the correct website is .com. Not .org, it's .com, as I said originally. So just so my credibility kind of sank when that happened. I just wanted y'all to know, I came back and checked it. It is .com.
You definitely deserve that announcement. BrentwoodRotaryGolf.com, as in commerce, as in earning money. Okay.
This is show and tell, Rotary show and tell. So this is what a hug from our club is now going to look like. And it emanated from a conversation that Betsy and I were having. And we realized that both of us, when we have a friend or family member who is ill, instead of sending flowers, both of us send a blanket with a message that says something, to the effect of, know that when you are covered up with this blanket, that you're covered with, thoughts and prayers from me. And we were like, well, how about we do that from our club when we have people who are, really ill, and instead of sending flowers, we could send a blanket with the Brentwood Rotary Club logo on it. So we have our first order of these is 25 blankets. So we've got those, and we'll be sending them to our club members when they're ill.
Can we get access to the
I think, you mean club members? These are just for club members, but are you saying access to send to other people?
Yeah.
So we were only able to, let me get up here. So we were only able to, with all the supply chain issues that we're dealing with right now, we were lucky to get these 25. But I figured that I had a feeling that people would be interested in these. And so I'll call the vendor back and just ask her, I had to commit to 25. So I'm not sure how it works if people just want to order, but I'll ask and get that information and report back. Because I would like one too. So I get it.
No, it's not necessarily because I send blankets to my friends.
You send blankets too?
Mhm.
See?
Well, actually, the vendors is a Rotarian. It's actually Roxanne Boyd, who's Larry Boyd's wife. When Larry Boyd's past district governor, goes with the morning club. And so we can see if she might do that for us, and that would be fantastic. Yeah, this came from when you wonder what you do with the slush fund for the president, it's the president's discretionary fund is the proper name for that. I figured this was a good investment. So that's part of where that went this year. And the rest of it's going to go to pay for Polio Plus. So with the discretion and your wonderful donations during Happy Bucks and a buy-in with about $1,200, we will be giving $3,000 to Polio Plus this year with help with the BRCCF and all y'all. So thank you so much. I think that's very, very important. And now I think we've gotten all of our announcements done. Any more announcements at this point? Yes, sir. Okay. Said Robert Fiddler's in the hospital right now. So, all right. Good deal. Not good deal that he's in the hospital. Hope he feels better soon. Joe, do you want to introduce our guest speaker? Yeah, actually, I was about to shortchange our buddy back here in the back. You want to start giving us a little bit of Jared Happy Bucks here?
All right, who's happy today? Here.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Put $5 in there. This is, I hope, the only time you ever hear me say, I'm happy to be back from Scotland. We went over April the 2nd. April the 12th was my granddaughter's birthday. She woke up that morning with COVID. The next day, her father and sister had it. The next day, her mother. The next day, her brother. And the next day, on April the 16th, my wife's birthday, she got it. So we ended up having to stay an extra week in Scotland. It was not the most fun we've ever had. So I am happy to be back.
Oh. Sarah Johnson has a happy minute. Yeah, Sarah who?
I'm putting in $20. The first is I'm happy to be back with everybody. The other 19 is because for the first year I had to miss Pancake Day because I was sick. And I really missed you guys a lot. And I just want you to know, y'all are awesome. Thanks for doing it without
Way
me.
to go, y'all. Woo!
I'm putting in 5. Thanks for upstaging me, Sarah. But for being a grandpa for the first time as of 3 weeks ago. And my daughter and her husband had their baby on Easter, and the same daughter was also born on Easter, a different date, but 26 years ago.
It's beautiful.
That's great.
Beautiful.
I'm putting in some money. I don't see Hunter or see Puff here, but I'm pretty sure next Saturday is the Waverly food distribution.
It is.
So even though the Franklin Club's having a parade, we're still, going to be heading to Waverly to hand out food. So I'm planning to go. I don't know the details, but I'm going to find them out. So if anybody else would like to join, let me or Beth Dormany or Hunter McCarty know, and we'll tell you where to meet.
Great,
Thank you, Jane.
So Jane, is this part of the Rotary food drops for Waverly, or do you? Yeah, okay, so that our club donated $5,000 to that, just so all of you knew that. So I'm happy to be back. I had a great time in the Amazon, cruising along there. And unlike Sarah, I didn't miss a Pancake Day. I didn't work at Pancake Day, but I came down and ate and then left. But anyway, but it was great. So I'm very happy.
Keeley Hall.
Okay, so I'm going to have Charles show me how to PayPal my Happy Bucks, but I do want to share. So this is the inaugural season for the Williamson County Girls Flag Football League. It's the first time they've ever had girls flag football in schools. It's just Williamson County schools, and tomorrow they play their championship tournament at Nissan Stadium. So my daughter gets to play at Nissan Stadium, which will be pretty fun. And if anybody wants to come, tickets are free. And she may be on the only team that has never been defeated in girls flag football,
yeah.
ever. They're 8-0, but they've never been defeated.
Awesome. All right. Anybody else happy? Got Larry happy.
Hold on.
Anyway, for Robert Fiddler, you need to keep him in our prayers. Also, I want to take him a blanket, so that'll be a down payment on the blanket.
Uh-huh. Very good. All right, I think we're done. And now one more thing before our speaker, as Lennis reminded me. We are very proud also to have gotten one other award and had a whole lot of fun at district conference in case you didn't get a chance. And so as you punch the button, the winner is Charles, are you here? No, Xander, y'all, with his speech on pornography. So, we're very excited that the competition had 6 people that had come to speak, 3 got to speak, and Xander went last and won. So we're very, very proud of him. We had some good times at the district conference, as you see by the next slide. That's all right. We got together one evening and had some interesting things going on. I don't know if you can see this. I hung out with the Franklin Breakfast Club and we got into the photo booth and we just got carried away. So they had lots of props there for us. So we made full use of those props, and I'm the one with big sunglasses, but the guy with the beard, that's his real beard, just to say that honestly, that's for real on him. So I don't know if you can see that. And then to get things even rolling more, there was a music video shot by our 3 district governors, written by the one in the middle, which is our district governor, Michael Babb. So y'all can imagine this all sequence stuff. The pants are not, they look like snakeskin, they're flowers. And so it was amazingly loud, amazingly good. And we had 3 districts there. So we had a very, very good time. We did get some good work done though. And so the next slide shows you that, and that is, we're talking about Waverly. In this case, it's a little bit different. We all had to don hairnets and gloves, but the Rotarians that were there, I'd say there probably about 200-300 of us. We packaged 25,000 meals for Rise Against Hunger in about 2 hours. So it was an amazing thing. And each of us was working a station and just had a ball. And I think our packers right there, the 3 of us were the fastest in the room, just to say we probably packed half of them. So anyway, just to know we had great things going on. And if you guys were thinking about maybe wanting to do something like this, our club could have an event like this in a couple hours, and we could actually pack 25,000 meals for Rise Against Hunger too. So if anybody's interested in doing that and wants to get a group together, I'm all in for that. And just let me know, we can reach out. All right. Awesome. I'm all about that. It was very easy. It was very fun. These folks come to you. They bring everything with them. They have great music in the background. You feel like dancing the whole time you're working, and time just flies. It's a lot of fun. So, all right, Jody, thank you.
We are very fortunate to have with us Kelly Motley. She is the author of The Fight of My Life, Boxing Through Chemo, which chronicles how boxing helped her to navigate a breast cancer diagnosis and chemotherapy. Kelly's been interviewed on TV, and her guest appearance on the biggest podcast in the boxing industry garnered more than 50K views. The Fight of the Life received praise from best-selling authors such as Rebecca Wells, the author of Divine Secrets of the Yaya Sisterhood, one of the world's biggest Christian authors, Stormy, is it Omerton? I never say it. Okay, I never say it right. Said Kelly Motley's book is about spiritual hope and power and courageously getting into the ring when facing your worst enemy. In her case, it is a formidable cancer opponent. This is one of the best written books I have read, and there is an important lesson for everyone who reads it. She does not gloss over her raw feelings of her struggles as she deals with each new stage, disappointment, and complication. She faced her worst fears head on, including near death, and came out on the other side, stronger than ever. Whenever I have to face my worst fear or greatest enemy, I intend to read this book again to remind me of how to do it. Kelly has owned her own public relations and brand marketing company, working with publicly traded companies, CEOs, and entrepreneurs in Nashville's $92 billion healthcare industry. She lands stories, America's top news sources. She and her husband of almost 30 years live in Nashville, and they have 2 sons, a new daughter-in-law, a German Shepherd named Chloe, who was written about in the, I'm trying to read, and she has chickens. So I really like the chickens. Anyways, but welcome.
This isn't a fairy tale. It's a story about knowing how to play the system and having all the answers. But just as I thought I had life all figured out, I was blindsided by a devastating blow, and then got knocked down hard by a series of pummeling jabs that forced me to rethink everything. I needed healing, and boxing became my medicine. This is a story about getting in the ring with discomfort and chaos. To discover that I was the one raging inside of me.
Thank you, Jody, for that lovely introduction.
This isn't a fairy tale. It's a
Thank you. No, and thank you, Lennis, so much for setting all that up. And thank you to Jonathan for inviting me to be here. And I want to extend my gratitude because I'm really overwhelmed. I've only been here for a few minutes, and I'm really overwhelmed by your commitment to service and the bridges that you are building to make Brentwood such a very special place. And all of the people opening your hearts to love to make this place so special. So I just want to say thank you. You are probably wondering why a woman with a wonderful family, married almost 30 years this August, with 2 sons. One graduated from Montgomery Bell Academy. The other is getting ready to graduate from MBA. Running a successful PR business in Nashville's $92 billion healthcare industry. Why would I start down this path of practicing what is considered to be one of the most intimidating sports, boxing? So there are 3 themes to my story. The first is getting stuck. The second is tools, physical and mental tools to give you hope, and then considering who is in your corner. The story that I'm going to share with you today is about developing a stronger mind, body, and spirit for facing your worst enemy. In life, there are circumstances we can't see coming. Circumstances we would just never, ever voluntarily choose. When you get a cancer diagnosis or you are dealing with that one unexpected circumstance, it's not going to be a comfortable road. Your mind, your body, your spirit needs to be sharp like a sword. I have a coach, and he always says to me when I'm struggling, he says, Kelly, your purpose is greater than your circumstance. It's just temporary. So we are all blindsided by some unexpected circumstance in life, and we have to face our worst enemy. For some, it might be financial loss, it might be divorce, it might be a diagnosis. We are all beset by the same internal conflicts. For some, it might be not recognized, worry, fear. This story is about fighting. The story that I'm going to share with you is about leaning into that one thing in life that we fear the most, that one inconceivable thing that we never, ever thought could happen to us, and putting on a boxer's mindset and getting to the other side, knowing it's all good. Maybe we're going to be better versions of ourselves. Maybe we're going to be mentally and physically stronger. And we see the self-satisfaction that can be derived from disciplining our minds and our bodies, taking our minds and our bodies from point A to point B. So I understand firsthand how an unexpected circumstance can take a toll on someone. I was blindsided by a cancer diagnosis. And then I was pushed to the brink where at times I felt my life threatened with defeat. And ultimately, I can tell you today that I was not prepared. But instead of shrinking to the situation, I put together a plan and an approach to keep a very strong mental and physical well-being and to keep my business going. And so I wrote the book that I wished I could have read when I was first diagnosed, but it just didn't exist then. And I also wanted other people to know that if I could do this, they could do it too. So the link between boxing and my mind and my body really helped me to make an important mental shift. I started seeing that the cancer thing was doable and achievable. And I started seeing my mind and my body as capable and resilient. So when I discovered boxing in the summer of 2017, looking back on it, the universe was really kindly, quietly giving me the very best to equip myself as I was unknowingly getting ready for one of life's biggest duels. It was a stroke of luck to discover boxing, and I would use the principles that I learned inside the ring to be a better version of myself, to be more present with my family, to take my business to levels that I could never have imagined. And then I used these principles when I was fighting for my life. So before I started boxing, I was in a dull, hard resignation that I would forever be stuck, not stumbling forward, just stuck. Everything at the time felt like a struggle, a frustration, a quiet desperation. I knew at the time my courage was shrinking. I was lacking any backbone, and I just kept my defenses down. I was praying every morning. I write about this in my book. I was praying with my great-grandmother's prayer book. I meditated. I still felt this deep sense of powerlessness in my life. So what was going on? The relationship with one of my major clients, it felt daunting. It felt like this bout that just went on and on every day, outweighing me, so unevenly matched. And every day my emotions when I was dealing with this client swung from anxiety to feeling fear of being shut down to anger. And so maybe you've had this experience at work, I don't know, but one day things just inside me broke and I felt compelled to punch something that very day. And so I backed my car out of a pea gravel driveway and just went up the road to a popular boxercise gym where I pounded a heavy bag in a group class, throwing wild, kind of angry, flailing punches at this heavy bag, thinking I'm going to be great at this boxing thing, not really understanding anger is like the worst possible emotion you want to experience in boxing or really anything else in life. So What happened is my youngest son, Alex, joined me in these boxing classes, and it led to a Bruce Lee style fighting, which is called Jeet Kune Do, which is kind of like everything goes. And I really clung to these lessons with my younger son as if my life depended on them. And I started really seeing my life transform, and I felt like I was changing from the inside out. And to get better at this Jeet Kune Do, I needed to start boxing. And so I reached out to a super middleweight professional boxer. His name is Sena Agbeko. He's training to be the next super middleweight champion of Ghana. And I trained with Sena 3 days a week. I trained with a Olympic boxing coach, Christy Holbert, who took the women to the Olympics in 2011 and 2012, and they got a gold. And I started training with Royce Fentress, who trains a lot of Division I athletes, and started really embracing my boxing. And it started taking my life to a really different level. And then I got diagnosed with breast cancer. And I knew from my boxing that the better conditioned athlete has the advantage. And I really studied and knew this cancer thing would move and dictate the pace of the fight. So I also, started thinking about all the similarities between cancer and boxing. And cancer tests a person's will and courage. And boxing tests a person's will and courage. And boxing is a mindset, and healing is a mindset. So what I did is I started thinking about the different tools. And one of my first mornings training with Sena Agbeko, and Sena's probably one of the most audacious looking people you would ever meet in your life. And you might think he looks fake. But he said to me, Kelly, imagine you have a tool belt strapped around your waist, and we are stocking it with tools you can count on using. The more tools you have, the more options you have. If you don't have any tools, there's nothing to reach for. And so I started thinking about being in that boxing ring and dealing with breast cancer and not having anything to reach for. So I used this concept as a powerful tool to help me navigate what at times felt like a chaotic and very disruptive situation. So the speed bag taught me, when you find yourself in a situation, and the speed bag, when I first started boxing, I would really avoid the speed bag. I felt like I'm never going to get this down. And Christy Holbert taught me some things. She said, make it work, figure it out, look for patterns, make the situation adapt and adjust to you. You are the ultimate controller. And I really started thinking about that with my breast cancer. And one thing that Christy said that was really impactful to me was, she said, sometimes we make adjustments. Other times we need to stick to our game plan and allow the process to work. And then other times we force the bag to make adjustments to us. Another principle that I talk about in my book is what happens when you lean away to that one really unexpected worst enemy situation. So when you're slipping or rolling, this is very counterintuitive, but you have to physically lean into your opponent, that one very threatening situation. What happens if you don't? It affects your balance. You're no longer well-grounded, and you're going to be in a better position to follow up, and you're going to be out of the line of fire. These are just some of the principles that I talk about in my book. I also talk about really who is in your corner and who do you give your energy to. So I always talk about my husband, John, being my cut man, because he was there for me in a way that's really hard to describe. My corner always taught me, and in my family, my sons, my husband, my coaches, there was really no room for pity. One of my coaches talked to me about how pity can be a destructive enemy, how it can drain you, your strength, and it keeps people stuck in a really dark place. My coaches taught me to set intention. So while I was going through this really difficult time, they would ask me, where do you want to be in 2 years? Where do you want to be in 5 years? So setting that intention and visualization is really powerful stuff. Boxing became my remedy to hold me up and to guide me and to help me make those right decisions. And most importantly, it became that one thing for me to turn to for a higher help. So this is my story. And my book is really for anyone who is going through an unexpected circumstance in life. I've heard from a lot of people around the country who aren't dealing with cancer, but they're dealing with substance abuse or something else, or financial loss, and how it has helped them. And it doesn't necessarily have to be boxing. It could be really anything in your life that you feel can help set intention and help you to move through that one unexpected circumstance or that worst enemy. And I'm happy to take anyone's questions. Because I was working in the healthcare industry, I really knew a lot about the healthcare industry from the other side. So thinking about being a patient wasn't anything that I ever imagined. So I talk about that piece as well. So I'm happy to answer any questions that anyone might have.
So when did you know that boxing was going to be the thing for you that would help you get through this fight?
So I was, obviously I had been boxing for almost a year, pretty much a year before. And it was really when I got the diagnosis, I would actually journal after every single boxing training that I had. It was so profound being with these people who I felt like had a very sensibility than most average people. So I would literally ask questions and wrote down, took notes after every boxing training. And so I have a family room, and all my journals, like 15, 20 journals, would be stacked up. And so once I got diagnosed, I was trying to figure out, how am I going to move through this? And I thought back to my journals and making it kind of like a boxing camp. Thought about, Muhammad Ali going away, and how am I going to get prepared for this time? And got my body very, very clean 2 months before my first surgery, and getting ready for chemo, just knowing it was going to be tough.
You may have just answered pretty much what I was going to ask you, but when you are diagnosed, or when you find that you have this devastating issue, when you move past the anger, how do you decide what you're going to do? Say you didn't have boxing to fall back on. What would your advice be to folks that are just feeling like they're out there by themselves?
I would, first and foremost, I would really look at the people around your table, like almost like it's a boardroom table. And I would really look at the people you surround yourself with, because what you're getting ready to go through, you want to have the right people in your corner. And again, I had never thought about the whole concept of pity, and how, it's like any other energy in your life, it can take away. So really having people who are invested in you and setting intention around your future and what you want to accomplish in your life. That's what I would focus on.
Hey, very inspirational.
Thank you.
Aside, once you made the crossover into boxing and channeled all your energy, was there, in the level of competition that you were in, was there that devastating moment where you got knocked out, or did you have that elation of standing over somebody on an 8 count? What was your highlight or your low point of that?
So in terms of my boxing, I had started Senna, and we were starting down that path of competition. And I was always, and I still am today, was always working with coaches and trainers where I was not hit. But we were going down that path of starting to the competition. And then my opponent became the breast cancer. And that's really, that was my fight.
Tell us what your prognosis is now.
So, as far as I know, I'm cancer free. Yeah. So when you have breast cancer and you have a double mastectomy, you can't do mammograms or anything, so, I mean, as far as I know, my doctors tell me I'm healthy and it's all good. So
What became of the Jeet Kune Do?
what became of it? Okay. It's my favorite thing in the world and I could do it all day long. I absolutely love practicing Jeet Kune Do. In February, my trainer had to take a step back from our training to help his father with some health issues. But I was doing it 6 hours a week. It's just my favorite thing to do. So. Thank you.
Let's give Kelly one more hand.
Thank you so much. So it is, my book is on Amazon. It's at target.com. You can get it at kellymotley.com, but I do have some available today and would love to share my book with you.
Well, I think that we would all say we are in your corner. And so you have some more folks to support you. And part of what we do is we tell first graders when we read a book to them, we read this book about Rotary, but we have you sign it so that we can tell them about your amazing journey as one of our speakers. So the pen is for you. And if you would sign this and we'll take it back. So thank you. Thank you, everybody. All right. Stan, good to see you again. Hope you come back and visit us real soon. Any other announcements for the good of Rotary? All right, well, here's the quote. Waves are inspiring, but not because they rise and fall, but because when they fall, they never fail to rise again. On the boxing terms, I figured that would be a good one. So do we have folks here that would help us, please? Chairs on the walls, tables back, nothing else for the good of Rotary. We will see you next week. We're adjourned.